Men over 60, doctor explains do this one shocking morning ritual for rebuilding muscle after 60. Have you ever felt that little bit of hesitation before lifting a bag of groceries? Or a slight unsteadiness when you stand up from your favorite chair? Does that quiet fear ever creep in? The one that wonders if one day, these simple things might become too much? Now, most people think this decline in strength is just because they're not exercising enough, or that it's simply an unavoidable part of getting older. But what if I told you the biggest battle for your strength isn't one in the gym, but in the first 2 minutes of your day? A groundbreaking study in the Journal of Gerontology found something remarkable. Researchers discovered that the timing of your first meal, that first nutritional signal in the morning, could increase muscle protein synthesis in older adults by as much as 30%. I saw this firsthand with my patient, Robert. He was 72 and came to my office feeling weaker each month. He was eating well, he thought, but he had no idea that his simple morning routine was silently sabotaging his own strength. Hello, I'm Dr. Audrey Wells. As a physician, I rely on data, not fads. And every claim I share is backed by peer-reviewed science. In this video, I am going to share the exact 2-minute rule I gave to Robert. It requires no special equipment, it's incredibly affordable, and it can help you start the process of reclaiming your independence starting tomorrow morning. Alright, now let's get into the heart of the matter. We are going to start with the 3 biggest mistakes that silently drain your strength, and how to fix them. We'll begin with mistake number 1. I call this one the starvation sunrise. This first mistake is incredibly common, and it is about waiting far too long after you wake up to give your body real fuel. It's the habit of starting your day on empty. Now, here's the critical error so many people make, and perhaps you do, too. You wake up, maybe you drink a glass of water, and then you pour yourself a cup of coffee. You tell yourself, I'm not hungry yet, or coffee is all I need to get going. This feels normal, but it's a trap. By doing this, you're not just delaying your breakfast, you are actively telling your body to weaken itself. In fact, that cup of coffee on an empty stomach might be doing more harm than good for your long-term strength. So why is this simple habit so damaging? It all comes down to a biological state called catabolism. That sounds complicated, but it's really quite simple. After a long night of fasting while you sleep anywhere from 7 to 9 hours, your body is in a fuel deficit. It needs energy. When you don't provide that energy from food, your body has to find it somewhere else. And the easiest place for it to get that fuel is by breaking down your own precious muscle tissue. So, for those first few hours of your morning, while you're sipping coffee and reading the news, your body is literally eating its own muscle. To keep running, you are allowing this self-sabotaging process to continue, completely unchecked, during the most critical window of the day, and this isn't just a theory. It's backed by solid science. Researchers at Duke University's School of Medicine conducted studies on metabolic states throughout the day. They found that a prolonged catabolic state in the morning, that exact state caused by skipping a protein-rich breakfast, significantly blunts the body's ability to repair and build muscle for the rest of the day. It's like starting a race 50 yards behind the starting line. You spend the rest of the day just trying to catch up, but you never quite do. This provides powerful evidence that what you do in those first moments of waking has a massive ripple effect on your strength and vitality for the next 12 hours. To make this even clearer, I want you to think of your muscle mass like a campfire that has been burning all night. When you wake up, that fire has died down to just a few glowing embers. It's still alive, but it's weak and fading. Now, that morning cup of coffee, it's like blowing on those embers. You get a brief flare-up of energy, a little spark, but it quickly dies down again because there's no fuel. It does nothing to sustain the fire. But protein, high-quality protein consumed right away, is like placing a solid, dry log onto those embers. It doesn't just create a spark. It catches and it builds a slow, steady, powerful fire that will burn strong and keep you warm and energized for hours to come. One method gives you a fleeting illusion of energy. The other one builds real, sustainable power. So, how do we fix this simply and effectively? This is where the 2-minute rule comes in. The solution is this: within 2 minutes of your feet hitting the floor in the morning, you need to consume at least 20 grams of high-quality protein. No excuses. No negotiations. This isn't about having a big, complicated breakfast. It's about a quick, strategic strike to shut down that muscle-wasting state and flip the switch to muscle-building mode. You can prepare this the night before. A pre-portioned cup of Greek yogurt, a scoop of protein powder ready to be mixed with water or milk, or a container of cottage cheese. It should be effortless. The goal here is consistency, not complexity. This was the very first change I had my patient, Robert, make. He was a classic case of the starvation sunrise. For years, his morning ritual was 2 cups of black coffee and nothing else until lunch. He was skeptical at first, but he agreed to try it. He started keeping single-serving containers of Greek yogurt in his fridge, and the result was immediate. He told me that for the first time in years, he didn't experience that classic mid-morning energy crash. He felt stable, and he discovered a wonderful synergy. He found that by adding a small handful of walnuts to his yogurt, he not only got more protein but also healthy fats that kept him feeling full and focused well into the afternoon. It was such a small tweak, something that took him less than 2 minutes, but he said it made all the difference in the world for him. And it can for you, too. Now, if you have ever been a victim of the starvation sunrise, just take a moment and comment "no more" down below. It's a small way to commit yourself right now that you're ready to make a change. Alright, let's move on to the second major pitfall. This one is a subtle mindset trap that so many of us fall into. This is mistake number 2, chasing the perfect breakfast. This mistake is the act of delaying your morning meal because you're waiting for the ideal time or the ideal food. It's the belief that breakfast has to be a formal, sit-down event, prepared just right to count. But here's the crucial mental error. You think to yourself, I'll eat after I shower and get dressed, or I need to save time to cook my usual eggs and bacon. You turn breakfast into a chore, a task on your to-do list, instead of seeing it for what it truly is, the most powerful tool you have to start your day with strength. This pursuit of perfection becomes a form of procrastination, and when it comes to your health, procrastination is just another decay word. You believe you're waiting for the right moment, but what you're actually doing is giving your body permission to get weaker. So why is this delay so destructive? Well, we already know it prolongs that muscle-wasting catabolic state we talked about. But it gets worse. This delay also triggers a physiological stress response in your body. Your brain perceives the lack of fuel as a threat, and it signals your adrenal glands to release cortisol. Cortisol is your primary stress hormone. Now, while cortisol is useful in short bursts for fight or flight situations, chronically elevated levels in the morning are terrible for your vitality. High cortisol directly inhibits muscle protein synthesis. It actively works against muscle growth. So, by waiting for that perfect breakfast, you are, quite literally, stressing your body into a state of weakness. And again, this is firmly established in clinical research. A landmark study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, one of the most respected journals in its field, looked at the timing of protein intake and its effect on the body's anabolic, or muscle-building, environment. The findings were crystal clear. Providing protein to the body early in the morning created a significantly more favorable environment for muscle repair and growth compared to consuming the same amount of protein later in the day. The researchers concluded that the timing was not just a minor factor, it was a critical component for maximizing the body's anabolic potential in an aging population. It's not just what you eat, but when you eat it that sends the most powerful signal. Here's a simple way to think about it. Imagine your body is a construction site and your muscles are the project being built. When you wake up at 7 a.m., the entire construction crew, your body's metabolic machinery, is already on site, clocked in and ready to work. They are waiting for the delivery of materials, which is your protein. Now, waiting for the perfect breakfast is like telling that entire crew to sit around and do nothing until the materials arrive at 10 a.m. What have you just done? You've wasted 3 hours. 3 of the most productive, valuable hours of the entire day have been lost forever. You can't get that time back. That is precisely what you do to your body when you delay that first crucial meal. So, what is the practical, real-world solution? It's simple. Forget perfection. Aim for speed and efficiency instead. The key is to prepare the night before. Have your tools ready. This can be a single-serving cup of Greek yogurt, a shaker bottle with 1 scoop of protein powder already inside, or a small container of cottage cheese. Have it waiting for you in the fridge. The cost for this is minimal, often between $1.50 and $2 a day. That's less than a cup of coffee at a cafe. This isn't about cooking a gourmet meal. It's about executing a quick, strategic mission to fuel your body the moment it needs it most. I shared this exact strategy with another one of my patients, a gentleman named David, who was 68 and a creature of habit. His perfect breakfast was oatmeal, but he would only make it after he had walked his dog and read the entire newspaper, usually around 9:30. He was losing strength and couldn't understand why. I gave him a simple tip, a little synergy hack. I told him, David, I want you to place your protein dose for him. It was a protein shake right next to your coffee machine. You are not allowed to make your coffee until you've had your protein. He later told me this was a complete game changer. It became automatic. He'd wake up, go to the kitchen for his coffee, see the shaker, and drink it down in 30 seconds. It seamlessly integrated into his most powerful existing habit. He was still able to enjoy his oatmeal later, but he had already given his body the signal it desperately needed hours earlier. It's about making the right choice, the easiest choice. Okay, that brings us to our final key mistake. This one isn't about timing, but about variety. It's a very easy trap to fall into once you've established a new routine. This is mistake number 3, the monotony trap. This mistake is relying on the same one or two sources of protein every single morning, day after day, week after week. It's the habit of putting your nutrition on autopilot without considering the bigger picture. And here is the subtle but critical error in thinking. You hear the advice to get more protein, so you find something you like, maybe it's eggs, or a specific brand of protein shake, and you stick with it. You think, I'm being consistent, so I must be doing it right. On the surface, this seems logical. Consistency is good, right? But in this case, that consistency can lead to diminishing returns. You are building your house with only one type of brick. The structure might stand for a while, but it will never be as strong or as resilient as it could be, and eventually, it will develop weaknesses. You're trading true nutritional resilience for the comfort of convenience. So why is this lack of variety a problem? The science comes down to something called the amino acid profile. Think of amino acids as the individual building blocks of protein. There are 20 different types, and your body needs a complete spectrum of them to effectively repair tissues and build muscle. Different protein sources have different amino acid profiles. Some are rich in certain types, while others are rich in others. By only consuming one or two sources, you risk creating a nutritional bottleneck. You might be getting plenty of some amino acids, but not enough of others that are just as crucial for muscle function and overall vitality. Furthermore, from a psychological standpoint, monotony is the #1 enemy of any long-term health habit. Eventually, boredom sets in, and that is when old, bad habits start to creep back in. And this principle is a cornerstone of established nutritional science. The dietary guidelines published by the world-renowned Mayo Clinic consistently emphasize the importance of diversifying protein sources. Their research highlights that variety is not just for obtaining a complete amino acid profile, but also for ensuring you absorb a wide array of essential micronutrients, vitamins, and minerals that come packaged with those proteins. Things like zinc from nuts or calcium from dairy. These micronutrients are not optional extras, they are crucial cofactors that act as the support crew for muscle function and energy production. The evidence is clear, variety isn't just a suggestion, it's a medically recognized strategy for optimal health. The best analogy for this is to think about a toolbox. Imagine you have to build an entire piece of furniture, but the only tool you are allowed to use is a hammer. You might be able to get some of the job done. You can certainly bang some pieces together. But what happens when you need to tighten a screw or saw a piece of wood? You're stuck. You can't complete the job effectively. Your body is the same way. Eggs are a great tool. So is whey protein. But they are not the only tools. To build a truly strong and resilient body, you need a full toolbox. You need the screwdriver, the wrench, and the saw. You need a diverse set of tools to do the job right. So, how do we apply this in a simple, practical way? The solution is to create a simple rotation list. I recommend having 3 to 4 go-to options that you can cycle through during the week. This requires almost no extra effort. For example, your list could be Option 1, Greek yogurt. Option 2, cottage cheese. Option 3, a high-quality whey or plant-based protein powder. And Option 4, a small handful of almonds and walnuts. You just rotate through them. Monday, you have the yogurt. Tuesday, the protein shake. Wednesday, the cottage cheese. This keeps your body supplied with a wide range of building blocks, and just as importantly, it keeps your routine from becoming stale and boring. I worked with a lovely patient on this, a woman named Susan who was 75. She had successfully implemented the 2-minute rule with a scoop of protein powder every morning. But after 6 months, she confessed to me that she was getting so tired of it. I gave her this exact advice. I had her write her 4 options down on a sticky note and put it on her refrigerator. Each evening before bed, she would simply decide which one she wanted for the next morning and place it at the front of the shelf. She told me it was liberating. It removed all the decision fatigue. The simple act of choosing gave her a sense of control and made the habit feel fresh again. And she found a great synergy on the days she had cottage cheese. She'd sprinkle a few berries on top, giving her an extra boost of antioxidants for the day. That small change, born from variety, helped her stick with this life-changing habit for over a year, and she felt stronger than ever. So, to bring it all together and make it clear, we've learned how to stop the starvation sunrise, how to let go of the chase for the perfect breakfast, and how to escape the debilitating monotony trap. These are the foundational steps to signal strength to your body every day. But as I always say, knowledge without action is just entertainment. So, here is your simple 3-step action plan from me to you, your doctor's orders, if you will. First, tonight, before you go to bed, I want you to choose 3 of your quick protein options and place them right at the front of your refrigerator or pantry. Make them impossible to miss. Second, tomorrow morning, within 2 minutes of waking, consume one of them. Don't think about it. Just do it. It will take less time than it takes to brew your coffee. And third, repeat this for the next 7 days, and just pay attention. Notice your energy levels around mid-morning. Notice how you feel now. I know exactly what some of you might be thinking. Dr. Wells, can a change this small really make a meaningful difference? Or maybe isn't it too late for me? I'm too old for this. Let me be clear, your body has an incredible, innate capacity to heal and rebuild. It is just waiting for the right signal. This is that signal, real. Lasting change never comes from a single giant leap. It comes from small, intelligent steps repeated with consistency over time. And remember, this isn't really about eating protein. This is about reclaiming your independence. This is about having the strength to confidently lift your grandchild high into the air. It's about carrying your own suitcase on that trip you've been dreaming of. This is about looking life in the eye and saying, I've still got this. If you are ready to start, if you are committed to making a change for your future self, I invite you to join this community of men who are taking back control. First, hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss our future guides. And more importantly, go down to the comments right now and write two simple words, Day 1. That is your public commitment. It is your declaration to yourself and everyone else here that today is the day your new journey begins. In our next video, we're going to build on this foundation and talk about 3 simple at-home exercises you can do to dramatically improve your balance. You won't want to miss it. Thank you for your time today. I'm Dr. Audrey Wells. And please remember, your age does not define your strength, your habits do.